Doing an audio check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me check the feedback on this one. Alright, let's try this one last time. If this still doesn't work, if the audio is still bad, or if the signal is still bad, then we'll have to do it probably later this evening. Magandang tanghali po. Ako po si Trixie Cruz-Angeles, and we're talking about the state of public health emergency under Republic Act 11332. Over the weekend, the Department of Health Secretary Francisco Duque recommended to the President na mag-declare ng state of public health emergency dahil nakadiskubre ng 2 additional na victims, at least one of which has no record of travel. At itong lack of record of travel indicates na may localized na transmission. Given the possibilities, nagrekomenda nga si Health Secretary Francisco Duque na ma-declare na po ang state of national public health emergency. Anong public health emergency? And if it sounds suspiciously like a national emergency under the constitutional provision of the Declaration of Martial Law, hindi po ito accidental. Talaga pong nilalagay natin ang state of public health emergency on the same level as a national emergency dahil sa possible danger ito to public health. But what are covered under the state of public health emergency? Epidemics or outbreaks are one. Health events of public health concern. So, pwede kasing mag-declare locally ang mga local government executives natin under Section 6 of RA 11332 ng state of public health emergency dun sa kanilang mga localities. Maaari din ang Secretary of Health na mag-declare nito. However, if it involves national interest, then the President shall be the one to declare. Okay? Yung specific provisions are Section 7. The Secretary of Health shall have the authority to declare epidemics of national or international concerns except when it threatens national security. Okay, ulitin ko po. When it threatens national security, in which case, the President of the Republic shall declare a state of public health emergency and mobilize governmental and non-governmental agencies to respond to the threat. Okay? So at the level of the Secretary of Health, he can declare an epidemic of national concern or epidemic of international concern. But if it rises to the level na nandun na siya it affects national security, then it is the President who will declare it. Ano yung effect ng pagdedeklara ng ating Pangulo ng state of public health emergency? He can mobilize governmental and non-governmental agencies to respond to the threat. Dahil sinasabi natin, hindi aksidente ang similarity nito ng state of emergency prior to the declaration of martial law. It is because sinasadya talaga nga ito. Bakit? The President needs to be able to mobilize government units which he cannot do, government units which he normally cannot do in a regular state pagka walang national emergency. Can this be a precursor to martial law? Yes, if it is necessary to declare martial law for the purpose of addressing the state of national emergency on public health. Will the President do it now? No, because right now there are only 6 victims at in-acknowledge po ito ng ating Secretary of Health. Ang sinabi niya, yes, I understand there are only 6 victims, pero mabuti na yung response ay mataas para hindi na po ito kumalat. So acknowledged nila na hindi ganun kapakalaganap ang disease. And the purpose in declaring a public health emergency, national health emergency is para ma-route na kagad or makaresponde na kagad bago pa ito lumala. Ano ang pwedeng gawin ng ating Pangulo under state of public health emergency? Kung ihahalin tulad natin ito sa national emergency, katulad ng nasa ating Constitution in relation to the declaration of martial law, maaari pong mag-issue mag-exercise na tinatawag natin na police powers ang ating Pangulo. In other words, he can make rules or rules limited to the national emergency. So, halimbawa, maaari siyang gumawa ng bagong patakaran tungkol sa pagra-route or pagdagdag ng obligasyon or ng powers ng mga cabinet or ng various departments para ma-address ang sakuna or in this case yung diseases. Maaari siyang mag-issue ng rules relating to the release of funds para rin matukuyan itong public health emergency na ito. And this is limited only to the state of emergency and only for the purpose of addressing the national public health emergency. Okay? So ulitin po natin. What can the President do? Normally, the President already has rulemaking powers. Pero yung rulemaking powers niya under a state of national emergency is similar to the police powers exercised by the legislature. Ganun po yung nangyari ng martial law under President Marcos. That's why presidential decrees were allowed to be issued because he could exercise the police powers. So ang sinasabi ng however, lahat ng powers na ine-exercise ng Pangulo under a state of national emergency or a state of public health emergency ay maaaring i-review ng ating Korte Suprema, ng ating mga hukuman. So whatever powers the President is granted under law, which aren't very clear right now kasi nga walang IRR itong batas na ito, ay tungo sa pag-address nito at maaari pong i-review ng hukuman. Maaari ba itong i-review ng ating legislature? Hindi po. Kasi it's still just a state of public health emergency. Hindi po ito declaration of martial law. Okay? So, bakit ganito kataas yung naging response ng DOH natin? Again, ulitin ko po ang explanation ni DOH Secretary Francisco Duque na ginagawa nila ito. He wants the highest response para hindi na po kumalat yung sakit at ma-address na po ng ating mga local and national authorities. By the way, the President can mobilize even private agencies para matukuyan ang sakit na ito. So, maliwanag po yan sa under Section 7 na the President can mobilize governmental and non-governmental agencies to respond to the threat. So, mga nagtatanong kung martial law is coming, I don't think so kasi nga inaamin ng DOH, there are only 6 victims, hindi pa po commensurate yung declaration ng martial law. So, but it is very similar. Kino-compare lang po natin yung powers for the declaration of martial law and na state of emergency tungo sa declaration ng martial law at yung state of public health emergency under RA 11332. Ulitin po natin, magkaka-martial law ba po? Right now, it doesn't look like it's in the horizon. So ulitin ko po para dun sa mga gustong magkalat ng false news, no, right now we do not see a declaration of martial law, but the President can do this if lumaganap or kumalat yung sakit and the President needs to exercise more more powers to address the epidemic or the public health emergency. Okay. Bakit ganito kalaganap? Bakit ganito katindi yung powers na ginagrant under Republic Act 11332? Remember, this law is about mandatory reporting. Ito ay dahil the possibility of a great danger to the public health. Remember, pag ang presidente po ang nag-declare, ibig sabihin merong merong possible concern tungkol sa ating national security. So aabot doon sa level na yon. Kasi the Secretary of Health could have declared an epidemic or a national or international concern. Pero hiningi niya na ang Pangulo ay mag-declare ng state of public health emergency para matukuyan both private and public agencies na makaka-respond dito. Dun sa mga nagtatanong ng mga wala sa topic, i-ignore ko po kayo. Humihingi din, it makes it possible also for the President to release funds under extraordinary circumstances kasi maaari siyang gumawa ng bagong rule patungo sa pagpo-provide ng additional funding for this. I understand na about 2 million pesos ay nailaan na po para i-address ito, pero hindi po lahat ito ay na-release dahil mayroon pong mga rules na both sa DBM at saka under our laws on graft and malversation and all that para para ma-release ito. So under these extraordinary circumstances, maaari nang ma-release yung mga pondo. Ano ang mga under on RA 11332? Mayroong mga prohibited acts na tukoy dito. Dahil ang RA 11332 is also a criminal law. So may penalty ito ng fine at saka pagkukulong ng 1 month to 6 months kapag hindi sumunod sa batas. Anong bawal? Unauthorized disclosure of private and confidential information pertaining to a patient's medical condition or treatment. So, yesterday, sinasabi ng Department of Health, hindi sila makarelease ng information dahil nga confidential information ito. Tandaan po natin, ang right to privacy natin, covered po ang health information. Kaya nga po, merong tinatawag na doctor-patient confidentiality. Doctors are prohibited from releasing any private information tungkol sa state of health ng isang tao. And all of us are covered by this, and no person should be allowed to disclose health information ng walang pahintulot dun sa taong tinutukoy ninyo. So dito, maaaring ma-fine o makulong ang tao na nagdi-disclose ng private and confidential information tungkol sa isang individual at yung kanyang health condition, including whether or not that person has COVID-19. So, bakit? Hindi po mahalaga yung identity ng tao unless the national security or the national public health will warrant it. So kung kailangan ng ganon, saka lang i-release yung identity ng tao para yung those people who have been in contact with that person or in areas where that person could have been in contact with them ay mabibigyan ng warning so they can come in and have themselves tested. Okay? Hindi po tayo ang magde-decide, hindi po individuals ang magde-decide niyan. Ayon dito sa batas, it should be the Department of Health na magde-decide noon. So kaya nagka-controversy tungkol dun sa isang private company na nag-issue ng kanilang statement na ang isa sa kanilang mga empleyado ay nag-test positive for the COVID-19. Naging controversy yan dahil labag yan sa Republic Act 11332 dahil nakalagay doon including workplaces are mandatory. They are required to report to the Department of Health kung mayroon mang lumilitaw na isa sa kanilang mga empleyado ay nag-test positive or mayroong sakit. Okay, ulitin ko po. Kung mayroong sakit ang isang tao, workplaces and schools are required to report at ang requirement na ito ay i-report doon sa Department of Health. Bakit? Because yung monitoring system ng Department of Health at yung kanilang contact tracing will be able to, will makaka-respond ang Department of Health for contact tracing at dito sa and to notify local governments and other agencies kung kailangan ng ganon para makaresponde to the possible health emergency, public health emergency. Okay. Ngayon, bakit controversial ang DOH? We're not going to bash the DOH dahil dun sa mga magigiting na mga frontliners na DOH employees and officials na humaharap at sila po ang nag-a-address ng possible crisis na ito. So, the problem is that the health secretary has not taken care of their implementing rules and regulations. Kaya hindi rin po natin mapagalitan kumbaga yung private workplace na hindi po nag-report sa DOH dahil hindi po maliwanag doon sa pagpapahayag ng DOH. Chinek ko na po yung website nila kung ano ang dapat ginagawa natin. So, kung hindi sila gagawa nun, then we will have to do this live right now. So, isa po yung dahilan. Under Republic Act 11332, sorry. Under Republic Act 11332, anybody, basta alam ninyo na may possibility ng COVID o nag-test positive, you coordinate with the hospital that tested you and ask that the hospital report to the DOH. Kung nagdududa kayo, report it yourself. Mahalaga po ang impormasyon na ito para hindi kumalat yung sakit. Okay, ulitin po natin. You do not necessarily have to make a public disclosure dahil private po ang data ng inyong particular health condition. pero you have to report to the DOH. If you go to a public hospital, the public hospital will report to the DOH dahil under sila ng supervision ng DOH. But if you are in a private hospital, then you have to report it to the DOH yourself or demand that your hospital report it. Kung ayaw ng hospital mag-report dahil iniisip nila na iiwasan sila ng mga tao, then you will have to do the reporting yourself. Mandatory po ito at may penalty po na ito ng fine at ng pagkakakulong. So, we'll just take a moment para i-cheer on yung ating mga frontliners in the DOH. Alam namin na mahirap yung trabaho ninyo. Alam namin na namimiligro, posibleng mamiligro ang buhay po ninyo dahil sa ginagawa ninyo, and we thank you very much for your service. Tuloy-tuloy lang po tayo. So in the meantime, the public should be warned because may batas to mandatorily report even your suspicion that you have COVID. Ngayon, ano pa yung ibang prohibited acts? Tampering of records or intentionally providing misinformation. Okay, tampering of records and deliberately providing misinformation. Bakit? In a time of crisis, misinformation is the enemy. It might cause panic, it might cause stampedes, it might cause other people na masaktan. So, sasabihin na please do not, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, kahit dun sa pagtatanong ninyo, yung mga totoo ba ito, tapos i-repost ninyo, ilalagay ninyo. The government agencies and doctors, masinop naman po silang nagpo-post ng real data or at least informed na opinions on Facebook. Please, wag muna po magkalat ng mga conspiracy theories kasi hindi po ito nakakatulong right now. Right now, what we need is information on what to do. Next, ano yung other prohibited acts? Non-operation of the disease surveillance and response systems. Ito ang mga local governments and the DOH. Kung hindi po sila mag-implement ng disease monitoring, surveillance and response systems, mayroon po silang pananagutan dito sa batas. Non-cooperation, ito ang pinakamahalaga. Non-cooperation of persons and entities that should report and respond to notifiable diseases or health events of public concern. So halimbawa, yung mga schools na hindi nag-i-inform sa DOH na meron na palang silang mga estudyante na may sakit at natatakot silang i-report dahil masastigmatize yung schools, then they might also mananagot din sila dito sa batas. Yung mga, in addition to which, workplaces, hospitals, public or private, lahat yan are required to report. Finally, non-cooperation of the persons or entities identified as having the notifiable disease or affected by health public concern. So, kunwari kino-quarantine kayo, meron kayong sakit or suspected na may sakit at ayaw ninyong magpa-quarantine o tumakas kayo sa quarantine, maaari po kayong ipa-aresto ng Department of Health. You are allowed, maaari po kayong arestuhin ng any private citizen or ng police at dalhin po kayo to the nearest DOH health facility para ma-quarantine kayo. Ulitin ko po, bawal po yung tumatakas sa quarantine, bawal po yung nagkakalat ng masamang balita na hindi totoo, or magandang balita, either way. Ito ay punishable sa ating batas by imprisonment and a fine. Okay? Ulitin ko po, yung mga nagkakwentuhan tungkol dun sa manok, really, do you honestly think that's important right now? Ulitin ko po, ano yung mga prohibited acts? Unauthorized disclosure of information. Remember, yung privacy ng isang tao tungkol sa kaniyang health is absolute. Even the doctors are not allowed to give out the identities of persons with these diseases, although they are mandatorily required, they are required to report this to the DOH. They can do that without disclosing the identity. The DOH can later on demand the identity of the person for purposes of quarantining or addressing the public health concern. Tampering of records, intentionally providing disinformation, yung pagkakalat po ng misinformation ay ay punishable under this act. Tampering of records para magmukhang hindi kayo nanggaling dun sa isang lugar. Tampering of records para magmukhang hindi ka in contact with somebody who was sick. Para ma-avoid ang quarantine, this is also punishable. Non-operation of disease surveillance and operation systems, this is also punishable, particularly dun sa mga LGUs and dun sa mga units ng Department of Health na may nakatalaga para dito. Non-cooperation of persons and entities that have to report at hindi nag-report. Non-cooperation of persons or identities having the disease or suspected of having the disease. Pag hindi kayo sumunod dun sa quarantine, maaari po kayong ikulong. What are the action plans? Tinatanong ni Celine Corpus. Well, wala pa po tayong balita from the DOH. Pero kung babasihin natin dito, dapat nakaset up o nagsiset up na po ang mga local government units ng kanilang mga disease surveillance and response systems. May mga nauuna na dyan na ibang mga local governments such as Quezon City, I understand is already planning this, at yung ibang mga cities. But we have to require all the LGUs to set up the disease surveillance and response systems. Ano yung mga standards nito? Well, ang problema is that it is the DOH that will set the standards. So natatandaan nyo po, sinabi ng DOH, Code Red sub paragraph 1 or sub-something 1. Hindi po in-explain kung ano po ang Code Red, kung ano po ang mga responses, at kung ano ang gagawin na lang natin. The information we can source is through here dahil wala po sa website ng DOH kung ano po ang Code Red. However, dahil state of public health emergency na po, this is the highest response of the national government. Okay? Tinatanong ni Rene Braga Baingco kung nag-declare na po ba si PRRD ng national emergency. Wala pa po tayong nakikitang executive order for this one. But what Spokes Panelo said is that the President agrees to declare a state of public health emergency. Siguro is just giving, kailangan po over the weekend magawa na po yung executive order on this one. Okay, ano pa? Ano ang penalties for this? Well, marami. Bukod sa kulong, 1 month to 6 months, fine of 20,000 pesos to 50,000 pesos. Kung tama yung pagkagawa ng IRR, maaaring i-impose ang fine na to on a daily basis. The PRC can suspend or revoke the license to practice of any medical practitioner. Yung civil service can suspend the civil service eligibility of a public servant who's in violation of this act. Kung health facility siya, public or private, institution, agency, corporation, workplace, schools, hospitals, etc., hindi sila sumunod, yung Chief Executive Officer, President, General Manager, or other OIC shall be held liable. Yun po yung makukulong. In addition, yung business permits at yung mga licenses to operate ay babawiin po na para dun sa kanila. So even the local government should be placed in a notice na ito po ay hindi ay wag dapat baliwalain. Okay? The DOH should have issued the implementing rules and regulations within 120 days after this act had been passed, pero hindi po nagagawa yon. So let's see your other questions. Ang IRR at saka yung standards ang kailangan natin sa DOH. However, this is not the time to bash the DOH. Dahil kawawa naman po yung mga frontliners nila. Maybe the Secretary of Health, kailangan i-call out na natin na, sir, it's time to issue an implementing rules and regulations and standards and clear guidelines kung ano po ang gagawin ng publiko. But what is clear from RA 11332 is that we are required to report suspected or what do you call this, confirmed incidences of COVID-19. So once the President declares a public health emergency on this one, then mobilize po even the military para ma-execute ito. Kaya yung sinasabi ko, yung mga provisions dito na mga prohibited acts dito, maaari pong gamitin, well, maaari po kayong arestuhin immediately kapag hindi kayo sumunod sa mga patakaran na ito, sa batas na ito. Okay. I hope this is clear. So, what this law requires is to report. Okay? It also requires the DOH to monitor. So, kailangan may surveillance. Meron din silang contact tracing. Lahat ito ay binigay ng kapangyarihan sa ating DOH to address a state of public health emergency. Tinitignan ko dito yung malaking na shopping mall, pinasara saglit for a few days para ma-disinfect kasi yung confirmed COVID-19 patient na Chinese ay nagpunta doon, pati nga yung grocery na pinuntahan, ura-uradas silang nag-disinfect. Okay, tama po yung mga ganyan na responses, but we really should ask at halimbawa ang St. Luke's kung saan po na test positive yung isang biktima ay nag-announce na sila po ay nag-disinfect at sumunod sila ng mga protocols to address yung paglaganap or pagkakalat ng sakit na ito. Sinabi nila, in-isolate daw nila sa isang lugar yung supposed victim as soon as it became evident na they were dealing with a suspected COVID-19 case. Okay. Marami ngayong nagsasabi na it's necessary na patigilin muna or wag munang pumasok for about 2 weeks ang mga bata sa I think that is necessary for those schools within the area na maaaring pinuntahan ng mga biktima ng COVID-19. But yung mga malalayo, I don't think it is necessary. However, that is simply my opinion. So, ang susunod ako, or susunod dapat tayo, dun sa rekomendasyon ng DOH dahil gagamitin naman nila po ang mga bihasa sa larangan na ito. I am not a doctor, so I cannot give you advice on what to do health-wise or what to prescribe or even to address the misconceptions or the truths of this disease. What I can tell you is that you have to obey the law because it is a law, and 2, we do not want to contribute dun sa pagpapakalat ng sakit na ito. While we're at it, gusto ko rin lang pong isingit na marami pa pong hindi nagpapabakuna, walang bakuna ang COVID-19 sa ibang mga sakit katulad ng measles at marami pa pong namamatay tungkol dito. Laganap din po ang HIV dito sa Pilipinas and it still has to be addressed separately from the COVID-19. Let's not lose sight then of the other diseases in our midst. So please be careful and please tulungan natin ang DOH sa pagpapalaganap ng impormasyon na kailangan po magpabakuna pa rin on other diseases even if COVID-19 is foremost on our minds. Mag-iingat rin po sa ating behaviors para hindi rin po tayo nalalagay sa peligro on other diseases such as the HIV. So just because COVID-19 is topmost on our minds, hindi ibig sabihin na papabayaan natin yung pag-iingat sa ibang mga sakit na laganap din. At pagpalaganap din po tayo ng impormasyon tungkol dun sa pagbabakuna sa ibang mga diseases that are preventable. At tandaan din po natin, ang victims, ang primary po na namamatay dito sa sakit sa COVID-19 are those na mahihina na po to begin with. So yung mga matatanda, yung mga mahihina ang respiratory systems, dahil for other reasons, sila po ang very susceptible dito. So pag-iingatan din po natin, lalo na yung ating mga kamag-anak na may edad na, yung mga kamag-anak natin, yung mga kapamilya natin, who are sick or who have weaknesses sa respiratory system, bantayan po sila ng maigi and mag-respond right away kung sa tingin natin, even suspected cases ay dapat natin pina-check. Okay, nagbabasa ako dun sa ibang mga responses ng mga tao dito sa COVID-19 and there are 2 very extreme ones na kailangan po natin i-address. Unang-una, may mga tao na konting ubo lang magpapatest na. So kung masyadong marami rin pong na overly OA na konting hirin lang ng ganon ay magpapatest, madudumog po yung public health facilities natin. So we're going to have to watch out kung ano ang ibang mga simptomas na ito at magpapatest lang Pagka, one, we have been traveling, or two, that we suspect we have also been in contact with somebody who has the disease. Okay? Kailangan rationable yung pagtetest. On the other hand, may ibang mga tao naman na tumatakas, alam nila na may possibility na meron silang COVID-19, ayaw magpa-test, ayaw magpa-quarantine, yung mga ganun po, kinukulong. Okay? Under Republic Act 1132. So please respond accordingly dito. I don't think it's fair dun sa mga hindi masyadong nakapag-aral na tawagin natin silang bobo, but ang importante sa atin ay ipalaganap ang impormasyon, ang tamang impormasyon. So mag-check din po tayo sa website ng DOH. Nire-repost naman po namin and yung mga other concerns. Pero ang mahalaga din ay huwag po tayong magpo-post ng misinformation or false information, untried, no evidence-based, yung mga cases that are not evidence-based, rumors, po, yung mga dinig ko meron ng ganitong pasyente, dinig ko tinatago lang ng gobyerno sa atin yung number of victims, etc. Hindi po ito nakakatulong at nakakasagabal pa sa ating mga health workers at as it is, they are burdened na nga because they're dealing with a possible epidemic. So, tumulong lang po muna tayo, saka na po tayo mang-bash doon sa mga opisyalis na hindi gumagawa ng kanilang trabaho, but yung frontliners natin, wala po tayong nakikitang papatay-patay sa kanila. So, they deserve our support and they deserve our cooperation. So, sabi ni Jane Takisawa, thank you for always informing us. You're welcome po. Sabi ni Marlon Diego, wala namang ginagawa ang DOH. Hindi naman po totoo yun. Nung lumabas po nga yung ibang mga biktima, nag-conduct sila ng contact tracing and all that. Like I said, hindi po na publicize yung ginagawa ng ating mga frontliners, yung mga DOH employees in the regional hospitals, in public hospitals, yung mga nasa RITM, yung mga nagte-testing po. All of them po, gumagawa po sila ng kanilang trabaho. Kung medyo mabagal po, it might also be because hampered nga ng lack of clear directive and standards from our health secretary. We need a more proactive health secretary, but I think today is not the time to bash them. We need to encourage them, move faster, move clearer. And susunod naman po tayo. Sabi ni Raymond Santos, will the DOH file charges dun sa company na nawala yung will the DOH, well, I assume you're talking about the company na nag-announce. Will the DOH file charges? Hindi ko po alam, but they could. Ang problema is baka ma-dismiss kasi nga kung maliwanag yung directive kung ano po ang gagawin, then hindi po sila magkakamali sa ganon. Although, like I said, nandun nga siya sa batas. So it will be depende yan. Depende na rin talaga yan kung ano ang discretion ng ating DOH. Ano pa? Ano pa yung mga tanong tinitignan ko yung mga questions ninyo. Ano pa? As per my acquaintance, sabi ni Marvel and Storm Red, state that, ay nako, nawala. Ang bilis ng mga questions. And dito ko lang hahanapin sa ating page. Lots of love to everyone. Get ready, people. Sabi ni Becky Major Ott. Checking dun sa ating live. Where is it? Di ko mahanap yung live natin. Sa page ko. Sabi ni Glenn Aguma, mga establishments po ay nagre-require na mag-temperature check before pumasok like malls and buildings, pero hindi lahat ay nagpo-provide kahit man lang ng alcohol sa entrance. Is that necessary? Wala po silang obligasyon to do that, sir. Hindi po nila obligasyon. In fact, yung pagtetest ng temperature before entering ay hindi po ito obligasyon ng mga gusali o mga opisina na pinapasukan ninyo. Ulitin ko po, there is no obligation to provide alcohol or disinfectant ng mga itong mga private na buildings na pinapasukan ninyo. At wala rin po sa kahit anong batas o patakaran na nire-require din po ito. Ang required po ay mandatory reporting. So, yun po yung ano. So, wag po tayong magagalit sa mga establishments na hindi po nagpo-provide ng mga hand sanitizers. Although, kunwari, restaurants and other areas na tumutuntang publiko, yung kanilang mga bathrooms ay basta meron silang soap and water that is compliance already. Okay? Sabi ni Chisel Mara, Duque Galaw-Galaw, about puro ka press con, rules and regulations, di pa nagkakawa. Po. Ano po yan? Ano po ba? There is something wrong with the Mac. Hindi ko nakikita yung ibang mga tanong ninyo. Sabi ni Bev, the reason why COVID-19 spread quickly, ay nako Bev, sorry. Nawala yung comment. Yung iba kahit may nararamdaman, natatakot pumunta sa ospital, sabi ni Ma'am Yoli Salvador, kasi takot din sa malaking bayarin. Dapat libre pagpapagamot, inform the public when, where, and how. Matagal na pong sinabihan ng DOH na kapag COVID-19, libre po ang pagpapagamot, basta pumunta kayo sa public na ospital. Ulitin ko po pagdating sa COVID-19, libre po ang pagpapagamot. In-announce na po ito matagal na, noong January pa lang, ng Department of Health, basta you go to a public hospital. Okay? So, sabi ni Doc Ethel Pineda, please encourage the elderly to have pneumonia vaccines. Kasi po, kapag nagkasakit kayo with anything related, in fact, sa respiratory, hihina kayo at pag COVID-19 ang tumama sa inyo, it will be deadly. Sabi ni Bev Fandino, it will cause panic kung konting ubo lang, pumunta na kagad sa ospital. I agree. Wag rin po tayong sobrang OA na konting lang ay pupunta na sa ospital. Wag po natin i-burden yung mga health facilities natin kung wala pa tayong basihan to believe that we have COVID-19. On the other hand, kung meron na tayong basihan, nag-travel or na maaaring na-contact ninyo yung tao na may COVID-19, please go to the hospital. Wag pong mag-intay. Sabi ni Rodel Marco, kailangan i-ban na ng Pinas ang mga travelers from Korea. I think quarantine, sir, yung mga yan. Ito. Sabi ni Nilas, paano kung isang tabloid ang nagsulat ng mga conspiracy theories? Kung may epekto ito at nakakakos ito ng panic, then you will be liable under RA 11332. So we're also going to look at the effects of this. Pero, di ba, why put yourself in danger? Huwag na kayong magpapalaganap ng mga false news. Kung hindi kayo sure, dun sa impormasyon, huwag nyo na pong i-post, huwag nyo na pong ipalaganap pa. There's a lot of information available doon sa DOH website. Please check regularly para doon sa mga ayaw pumunta sa DOH website. Ipopost namin yung ibang mahahalaga na pahayag ng DOH dito. But remember that the law requires you to report. Okay? Sabi ni Flexi Aurelio, Senator Lacson himself said the DOH might not be declaring the real stats on infected cases. But I think yung natin dyan, yung guesswork na nilalagay natin dyan sa mga yan is not helpful right now. Anong maitutulong yan pag sinabi mo, tingin ko ang DOH hindi nagpapalaganap ng balita tungkol sa mga ganito. What does it do? It causes panic and it might be causing panic unnecessarily. Wala po tayong ebidensya na nagtatago ang DOH right now. Wala po tayong ebidensya na meron silang violations ng RA 11332 maliban lang dun sa violation ng 120-day rule na hindi pa sila naglalagay ng IRR up to now. However, Di ba? If there is no evidence to that, kahit kasi si Senator Lacson kasi, meron siyang immunity from suit. Yung mga sinasabi niya in a privileged speech or in the course of his duties as a senator, hindi po siya makakasuhan. Pero ang magpalaganap ng false information na hindi naman may hindi legislator and not entitled to immunity ay pwede namang makulong. So, wag na rin po natin iulit-ulit kung walang basihan kahit sino pang anak ng Diyos ang nag-issue ng declaration na yon. It is conjecture in this case. Baka hindi nilalabas. Baka ganito. Posibleng ganito. Wala pong kasiguruhan dun sa mga statements na ganon. So, wag po natin ipalaganap because the uncertainty leads to panic. Ay. Sabi ni ni Eddie Peñamora, totoo ba yung balita na may gumagala daw dyan sa... yan, yung exactly the kind of information. Pati yung pagtatanong ninyo, totoo ba ganito? Please, review your own information. Pag sa tingin na walang opisyal na pahayag, walang ebidensya, sabi-sabi, it's not admissible nga in court eh. Alam nyo ba yan, sabi ni ganito na sinabi ni ganito, hearsay, double hearsay, triple hearsay. Pag nagtanong kayo, pinost nyo pa, mamaya may maniwala dyan, laganap na naman yung mga false information na ganyan. Please be circumspect even in asking. Kung wala pong ebidensya, there is no reason for you to ask because there is no evidence of that. But wait for the official announcements. Yun po ang mahalaga para sa atin ngayon. Official announcements. Doon po tayo magre-rely right now so as not to cause panic, so as not to cause harm on other people. Sabi ni Dij Lai, mas malakas ang effect ng kapraningan kaysa sa panic. Meron din pong ganon. Pero I think this is not the time na maggalitan tayo o magturuan tayo. Now is the time na magtulungan tayong lahat, magpalaganap tayo ng tamang impormasyon. And ano yung mga tamang impormasyon? Well, palaganap natin na punishable by law ang pagkakalat ng mga misinformation under RA 11332. Punishable po pag hindi nag-report ng suspected cases, pag tumakbo from quarantine, pag umiwas from quarantine, mga hindi nagre-report dun sa DOH ng suspected cases sa kanilang workplaces, schools, agencies, etc. Kailangan punishable by law ito. Yung pagre-reveal ng mga identities of suspected COVID19 victims, hindi po dapat ginagawa yan unless it is the DOH that does so. So, ingat-ingat po tayo. Ito ang impormasyon na maaari natin ipalabas to warn everybody na hindi po tayo nakakatulong if we panic or we spread false information. Sabi ni Fornolias Alvin, dapat nakapublic yung mga places na napuntahan ng mga positive cases para aware yung mga taong nakapunta sa mga places na iyon. The problem with that is that you will cause either panic and people will not report that they had been in contact or people will overly report. So contact tracing po ang ginagawa ng DOH. There is a reason kapag hindi pa ginawang public yung impormasyon na ganon is because nagko-conduct pa sila ng contact tracing at para hindi po mag-overreact ang publiko, which is something you cannot assuage anymore once it happens. Once pumutok yung panic, there's very little that you can do except wait for it to die down. Okay? Kasi yung mga iniisip ng mga tao. Okay, next. Sabi ni Tina Rodriguez, mga fake news, wag ikalat ng kalaban ng gobyerno. Yun din. Sabi ni Dantala Haruna, oh my gosh, ang daming nagfa-flood ng news feeds ko ng mga nagbebenta. Sabi ni Albert Kua, kung hindi nyo pa mag-gets, may problema. Uy, kayo naman, huwag kayong ganyan. Kaya nga, kailangan lahat nagtutulungan. Let's help spread the news about RA 11332 at kung ano ang punishable acts at kung ano ang dapat ginagawa natin. So, two things ang mahalaga dito. Mandatory reporting. at least for us, yung iba kasi obligations ng DOH. Mandatory reporting, report once there is reason to believe that you either have it or a person in your workplace, your school, your office has it, report. Yan yung requirement ng batas. Second, huwag magkakalat ng disinformation. Third, sumunod sa mga direktiba ng DOH. Pag kina-quarantine, please, huwag pong tatakas, huwag pong magdadahilan, huwag pong aapila, do not make trouble for the DOH. Kawawa naman sila. If there is indeed an epidemic here, parang awa nyo na, huwag nyo na pong pabigat yung trabaho ng ating mga frontliners. So, ulitin po natin, yung state of emergency dito na tinutukoy ng Republic Act 11332 is akin to the state of national emergency prior to the declaration of martial law. Ulitin ko po right now, I don't think there's going to be a declaration of martial law dahil inaamin po ng DOH na hindi pa ganun kalaki yung number of victims to warrant that. However, a state of public health emergency, a state of public health emergency na dinideklara ng Pangulo ay dahil ito ay may national security implications at para makamobilize ng public and private agencies na rumisponde dito sa krisis na ito. Ano ang mga bawal under Republic Act 11332? Well, it can be boiled down to mandatory reporting. Huwag magkakalat ng misinformation, huwag ilalabas ang identities ng possible victims. You let the government do that. Susunod dun sa mga direktiba, huwag mag-cooperate kapag kina-quarantine, huwag magtatamper ng records. Okay? At susunod ang mga local governments and national government ay required na sumunod at magpa-institute o mag-operate ng kanilang mga surveillance and response systems. Okay? Please don't spread hearsay, please don't spread rumors kung wala pong ebidensya, walang basehan o hindi po na verify through the DOH. Right now, the only agency we should be relying on is the DOH. Siya ang magpo-provide ng information dito. At yung mga nagkakalat ng pagsususpetsya nila na nagtatago daw ang DOH, provide evidence or get out of town. Kasi it's not helping, really, seriously. Although may freedom of speech tayo, maglabas ng ating kuro-kuro o haka-haka, kapag ito'y hindi po nakakatulong, and in the case of an outright epidemic, not only does it not help, but it also harms the public response or the government's response dito sa posibleng magiging krisis. Sabi ni Edgardo Rivera, may DOH hotline ba for COVID-19? Wala po akong nakikita. But the reporting can be made through the hospital. Okay? So, ang reporting kasi, hindi naman kayo magre-report kung hindi pa kayo o wala pa kayong COVID-19 eh. So, pag nag-test positive ka, you're usually already in a hospital or in a DOH facility. So, mandatory. You have to, if you're in a private hospital, you have to ask the hospital to report it. And if they don't, report the hospital and then you report to the DOH yourself. Okay. But that's a good question, ha? Bakit nga ba wala yata akong nakikitang hotline ng DOH? Wala pa po yata silang na-institute na call center. Sabi ni Botog Season Landing, puri ng puri ang WHO and DOH Philippines, ano nangyari, di kaya nag-overreact lang si Duque. Well, I think right now, hindi ko masasabi na nag-overreact si Secretary Duque because the public will also demand action on the part of government. Mas gusto ko na mag-OA ang government kaysa mag-underacting, di ba? Sabi ni Doc and Cedar, wala na pong face mask, kung meron man ang mahal na po. How can the government help? Will they be distributing free face masks to the public, especially to indigents? Again, ulitin ko po hindi po obligasyon ng ating gobyerno mag-distribute ng face masks to people who are not sick. Okay? Bakit? Kasi yun yung direktiba ng DOH, sinasabi ng DOH, you don't need to wear a face mask unless you are sick dahil kakalat pa rin yon kapag naubusan ng face mask at yung mga may sakit pa ang maubusan ng face mask, mas kakalat po yung sakit. That's why wala pong obligasyon ng gobyerno na mag-provide ng face mask, particularly to those na wala pong sakit. Ulitin ko po yun ha, it is not their obligation. Wag po tayong mag-over-rely sa gobyerno ng lahat libre. Libre po yung pagpapagamot sa COVID-19 in public hospitals or government hospitals. Yun po ang obligasyon ng ating ng ating gobyerno. Tinatanong ni Ram John Plaza, if ever ba may symptoms ng COVID, libre ba magpa-test? It should be free dun sa mga public hospitals, particularly in DOH hospitals, which are the regional hospitals. It should be. Yes, sir. Kasi libre din yung pagpapagamot. Hindi walang obligasyon po ang private hospital, so you could be charged by the private hospital kung dun po kayo magpapatest. Sabi ni Kiel Tangonan, dito sa LA, nagkakaubusan ng bigas sa grocery stores, saka hand sanitizers and toiletries. May deliveries pero ubos po kagad. Yes. Sa atin, baka panic lang magagawa natin, hindi panic buying. Sabi ni Lisel Tamaka, keep yourself informed. But for us po na magbabalik bayan, ano po ang best thing to do kung may layover from Japan to the Philippines? Ang mga stopovers where you are limited to only the airport or just within your, not going down from the plane, ay hindi po covered ng travel bans. Okay? However, always check for updates. Ini-issue po ng update, nag-i-issue po ng update ang Civil Aeronautics Board at on the travel bans. So, ina-update din po nila. So, for updates on the travel bans or for details, you can also ask. Meron din pong 24 hours na call center ang Civil Aeronautics Board para sagutin yung mga tanong ninyo. And they're online, ha? Don't forget, it's cab.gov.ph. Sabi ni Junji Gonzalez, may suggest sana kung pwede may batas sana o required na sa lahat ng aircon, bus, ng temperature ang lahat ng pasahero bago umupo kunan o infrared thermometer para lang safe ang lahat sa mga pasahero. Suggest lang po yan, di kasi natin alam kung sino ang may virus. Well, yung pagtetest ng temperature will find na may fever ka, which could be caused by anything. But I think that the problem is that our buses are public utilities but privately owned. And if walang obligasyon on the part of the government, then they're not required to do that. Sabi ni Homer Octavius, I'm into PUV driving, so hardly to deal with Chinese passengers. We don't know how to screen and identify each passenger. Who are the carriers, some don't have face mask. By this time po, hindi na po issue yung nationality dahil every country, nearly almost every continent has the COVID-19. So yung pagka-incheck, hindi na po siya relevant masyado ngayon dahil laganap na po all over the world ang COVID-19. And people who are not Chinese are already getting it or have already been reported sick. So, itsantabi na po natin ang racism natin or latent racism natin or yung fear and panic natin or xenophobia natin because it is possible, it's anybody. It is now anybody. Is there a way to test so that you don't get in contact with these people? Well, right now, the only tests are through the DOH, through the hospitals. So, yung pagtetest ng temperature po is only a way to determine kung may sakit yung tao and that the illness could be a lot of things, bacterial, viral, other viruses, etc. So, it helps prevent the spread of other diseases, but I'm not sure kung sagot po yan. Anong gagawin natin? Hindi natin pasasakayin ng bus yung tao. He will just go somewhere else. The best thing right now, at ito yung suggestion ng ibang mga epidemiologists, is really to trace where people have been. So tama si Jean Kua, wag pong hahawak sa muka, ilong at bibig. Wag maghuhugas parati po ng kamay. If you are sick, wear a face mask. Regardless of how sick you are. Kasi po, yung mga victims nga dito, yung mga fatalities sa COVID-19 ay yung mga mahihina na, ang resistensya mahihina na ang respiratory systems due to other diseases or due to old age. So, let us help each other na pagka may sakit, please stay at home, isolate yourself. Sabi ni Ram John Plaza, temperature monitoring can be very unreliable with COVID because this is not asymptomatic, it can be asymptomatic, pero tama ka doon. Kaya nga dinidiin nila na if ever not feeling well, stay at home. Para dun sa mga nagtatanong tungkol dun sa quarantines, dapat po nakapost po lahat yan. At kasi nagbabago yung ibang mga patakaran. Ang Civil Aeronautics Board po ang nagpo-post ng mga impormasyon tungkol dyan. But since marami kayong nagtatanong, after this live, hahanapin ko po at ipopost ko dito sa Luminous. So, stay tuned or mag-check lang po kayo sa wall namin every so often tungkol dun sa mga government agencies. Yun, sabi ni Paul Tuico, maraming salamat Paul, ipipin ko yung comment mo. Sabi ni Paul Tuico, nagbigay po ang DOH ng hotline for COVID-19. Nakapin po dito sa comments, wala na naman sa aking sa aking feed. Pero napin ko na po yung comment at nakapost po. We will repost the hotlines of the DOH, ayun, for COVID-19. Ayun, sabi ni Paul. Ayan, pinin ko na po dito sa ating comment section yung DOH hotline for COVID-19. Maraming salamat kay Paul PJ Tuico for providing this. Maraming salamat. You have done us a great service. Sabi ni Delcy Montecristo, why don't each one buy their own thermometer? Mura lang naman. Check your own temperature so as to help the government. O maganda din pong suggestion yan. Cecil Benito, nasagot na po yung tanong nyo. Pinin ko na po dito sa comment section yung sagot ni Paul PJ Tuico tungkol dito sa hotlines ng DOH. Sabi ng isa, hindi daw po sagot ng Hong Kong government ang face masks. Sabi ni Lisa, dito din sa Japan, nagkakaubusan ng tissue at toilet paper sa tindahan. Hindi ko pa rin po naiintindihan yung panic over the toilet paper. Gayon nga siguro dahil tayo nagtatabo. But mahalaga din po yun. So, rule number 1, don't panic. Rule number 2, keep informed. Rule number 1 is wash your hands, don't touch your face. Don't touch your eyes, nose, mouth. Stay at home if you're feeling ill, regardless of what the illness might be. Number 2, remember not to panic. Do not spread misinformation. Cooperate with the DOH. Yun lang po muna for now. May mandatory reporting po na tinalakay natin dito sa ating live. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng sumubaybay dito sa live na ito. Please, when all else fails, do not spread misinformation. Rely on government sources for our information. Rely on the DOH, rely on the Civil Aeronautics Board for travel bans, etc. We will repost and rely only, and please do not spread this information. Cooperate and coordinate. Makakatulong po tayo sa ating gobyerno kung tayo po ay magpapalaganap ng impormasyon tungkol dito, kung tayo po ay mag-uulit-ulit na sabihin sa mga tao, wash your hands, don't touch your face, don't panic, report. Require workplaces to report. But also be very careful na hindi po tayo nag-violate ng privacy ng mga taong may sakit. Okay? And also remind people na yung pag-spread ng disinformation is punishable under the law. Okay? Maraming salamat sa lahat ng sumabaybay uli dito sa ating live. Maraming salamat doon sa nagpapalaganap ng tunay at maaasahang impormasyon. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng hindi panik at bukod sa lahat. At higit sa lahat, maraming salamat po sa ating mga frontliners sa Department of Health. Mabuhay po kayo. Keep tracking at susuporta at tutulong po kami sa inyo in whatever way we can. Maraming salamat din po sa lahat ng sumubaybay ngayong araw na ito. Don't forget to like and share sa Luminous, manood ng Karambola, manood or makinig sa Tambayan sa DWIZ araw-araw. Maraming salamat. Like and share.